Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's having a fine winter evening. We haven't had fires in our fireplace here in Pittsburgh probably for the last 25 years. And we've had a wood pile out in the front of the house for that long. So, as you could imagine, that wood was fairly dry when we burn it. Let's see. If you could hold on for 1 second, please. One little technical problem. And to make sure everything was running smoothly before we got started. Okay. Today was not a bad day in the market. When you start seeing the tails to the downside and they start bringing that back up, that basically tells you they're profit taking in the morning and coming back in the afternoon, which is good for an extremely strong, steady uptrend because that basically takes out all the enthusiasm, or not enthusiasm, over enthusiasm. So you're not, your uptrend's not being, set up for a big sell-off, that the sell-off is going on during the day. So today when the market was down 50 points or so, if you didn't analyze what was going on in the other indexes, you would have been fairly nervous. The nice thing that we have as far as observing what's going on on candlestick charts is when the NASDAQ opened lower today, even though that it was showing it was down 7 or 8 points, it was trading positive from where it opened. So that gives you a completely different message that if you were just looking to see whether the markets were up or down, it would be showing that the markets were down, except we could see that there was still buying going on in the NASDAQ, so that this was not a sell-off. This was just kind of a profit-taking day. It allows you to keep from getting scared out of positions. It makes you want to kind of hold in there for a little bit and hang on to those positions that might be selling off, but they're not really doing any sell signals. And the S&P 500, same scenario. It opened lower, but it was trading relatively flat and slightly positive when even from where it opened when the Dow was down. So that type of information is just something that kind of keeps the emotional whipsaw out of your own head, that you've got a much more clear analytical tools to work with. Crude oil prices are still getting whacked, gone from the 100 range down to the 90 range here over the last few weeks, and still got to stay short on crude oil until you see a strong buy signal. Fortunately, or I say unfortunately or unfortunately, whatever you're looking at it, after the big move in the 10-year notes, we've had this 45-degree, which basically tells us interest rates still aren't going to go anywhere. What else do we need to look at? DXAH. The dollar's been acting well, kind of a good steady move here. when it broke out through this downtrend. Nice steady uptrend. Let's see. I'm still long feeder cattle ever since it started coming up through the T-line. And live cattle has been working well. The bottoming action here closed back up above the T-line. Stochastics coming up. I wouldn't doubt they aren't getting up towards the 50-day moving average.
3 p.m.
Now we're taking a look to
below
see what
8 p.m. Do not be long. That Whitem H13
lean hogs have been doing. They're still getting kind of whacked around. Notice that the lean hogs, once they broke down through the T-line, have not been able to get back up above the T-line. So this is a good example of stay short until you see a buy signal and a close above the T-line, because you've had buy signals in the oversold area, but as long as you can't get up above that T-line, you stay short. Soybeans is kind of in a wedge formation. This wedge, so it's either got to break out immediately, or they're going to bring it back in and kind of waffle here in the in that range. Let's see, wheat's just kind of a steady downtrend, and corn caught in this downward channel. Wouldn't be trading corn at all. Just nothing exciting about it. All right. Oh, we've got gold. That's what I knew there was something. Gold just can't get back up above the T-line. Had an opportunity to open higher and trade higher, which would have taken you back up to the 50, but they did a bearish harami back down below the T-line, still taking it down. Silver, same scenario. Notice it's been in this downtrending channel and still suspected that it could come down to the bottom of the trend channel. Let's see if I can do this correctly. So I'd still look for silver to come down into this area before seeing a buy signal. Okay. What we're going to kind of concentrate on tonight, we'll go through some of the ones that we've been following since I have not been able to get the follow-up section to work yet, but I will before I'm too much older. You can see that UNXL, from our recommendation down in this area, has been a good steady climb, and they can't close it below the T-line. They can come back and test it, but they can't get it closed below the T-line. That's a good reason why you want to use that very simple rule of seeing a candlestick sell signal and a close below the T-line, because there's with some indecisive moments over here, but bang, they've taken it up another 10%. ISIS is another one that's been acting well, coming out of this rounding bottom. Here's the breakout. And this is what we're kind of going to work on tonight, is what's going to happen when everybody sees it's breaking out. And what do we have as far as an advantage to see that it might be heading in that direction based upon what signals we're seeing prior to that. OSIS has been working out very well. Coming out of this little scoop pattern. Target was the 50, and it did it in one day today. So you still want to see if they're going to take it through. If they do, there's still this gap to fill up here. They could be taking it right back up to that level. Let's see. Yes, an SNTS. Nice rounding bottom. Is it up after hours? Beats Wall Street expectation. Up another 10%. So that means up $1.30. They're up at 14, almost $15. All right, and there's another one that's. Here's that little Morningstar type signal that started the rounding bottom to the upside. That's one of the reasons why I'm still long. Not I'm still long cotton because of this little morning star signal acting like a little slingshot, a little scoop type pattern. Cotton's been acting very well, so we've got wave 1, wave 2, into wave 3 right now. Let's see, and AC, well, I'll get to AC. You hold your individual stocks. More than likely, I'll get to a lot of them before we're done. And when I'm done, we'll get through I'll go through the ones that I didn't do. AEGR is one that still looks good. Whoops, that went out into Never Never Land. AEGR. Another one with this rounding bottom. With these rounding curves is what really starts these fast movers. Okay, so right now SNTS is up to 1533, up 11.09%. All right. But when they start coming out of these slow rounding curves, that's when the enthusiasm jumps back in and really gets some of these to skyrocket. Looking for ACAD to kind of do the same thing. It did a doji type day today. If it opens positive tomorrow, you want to be buying immediately. If this starts moving, obviously wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, starting with that morning star signal. ACHC, another one that's, this is a fry pan bottom, and notice what it did today. It did a kicker signal coming out of here. And what do we want to look for coming out of a fry pan bottom? A very strong bullish signal, and the kicker signal is about as strong as you can get. Definitely would be buying this one on positive trading tomorrow. And OPTR, another kicker signal. This is a kicker signal that would be confirming a J-hook pattern.
H13
so anytime you see that kicker signal,
moving average.
and you can also identify the pattern, that's going to be a good chart pattern from there. And let's see, did I do SBGI? SBGI. There's that little rounding bottom, and then bam, they start escalating. These are the best ones to be looking at right now, the ones that have that slow curve to them. And getting right to an area where if you had a strong move, notice this is a kicker type signal, breaking out into the new territory. Let's see. CZR is one that everybody's been kind of following in the chat room, also setting up very nicely for that J-hook pattern. So here's your classic, which is a fry pan bottom, strong price move. Pull back, you're in another strong price move. Let's see, who wrote this one? PFMT. Another slow curve, fry pan bottom breakout. This is exactly what we're looking for on for a fry pan bottom. Is that breakout to the upside, telling us there's going to be more upside. S-Fly. Kind of same scenario. Notice how it's riding right up on the T-line. Just tells you there's more enthusiasm starting to come in. Going to be taking you up to the next level. All right, whole industry, Valero, one of the refiners. This has a nice little J-hook type pattern, and they broke out through this level. If it opens positive tomorrow, you not only want to be buying the stock, you probably want to be buying the calls because you're probably going to see a good breakout. WNR, same scenario. This is why we recommended this one today, was because we were right here at the breakout level. We had a morning star signal, an inverted hammer, bullish confirmation, closing right at the high. Told us if they were opening positive, what were they doing? They were confirming that this J-hook pattern was in progress, that if this was the first move, 6 points should get up into the $41, $42 area pretty easy. HFC, breakout, we're in wave 3. Another one that you want to probably use your option strategies. Yeah, I'll get to everybody's individual requests. Don't worry. Usually when we're all done looking at the ones I'm pulling up, I'll tell Jim to do the double line. As soon as you see the double line, then you can put in your requests. Because we only put up the request time frame for about 15 seconds because we'll have plenty to look at in that 15 seconds. All right, we got CBK also setting up very nicely. Look at the left-right combo right here off the 50-day moving average. Back up through the T-line. Scoop-type pattern setup. What's the target? Probably they're going to bring it back up right up to the top of the trend channel, which would give you a good, strong move, and then possibly doing a 45-degree off of there. NLS. Same type of thing. Nice little Morningstar setup. If they open this positive, they're breaking out through this level right here. And that's what we're looking for, are the ones that everybody else could be watching to see when they're breaking out of a specific level. BYD, the bigger the signal, the higher the probability there's been a change of investor sentiment, and that trend's going to continue in that direction for a while. GNW. Notice what this has done. Nice move up away from the 50, right smack dab back to the 50. Doji, bullish confirmation, back up through the T-line. This one you can be buying, anticipating. But if this is wave 1, this is the start of wave 3. And CIMT. CIMT starting back up. This was more of a doji on the TCNet chart, but essentially a Morningstar signal right here. If they open this positive, it does two things. It tells you they're breaking out through this downtrending channel, and they're telling you that the T-line's not acting as resistance anymore, doing it right at the right spot. So this move went from $4 to over $12, pulled back to $8. Good possibility this could now move right up into the $16 range. This is what, usually will happen. That's why it's good to watch these patterns, because once they've broken out, that means there's a lot of new interest in this stock for whatever reason. After the profit taking's over, there's still going to be a lot of good interest in this stock. In ADSK, whoops. Another scoop type pattern. So if this opens positive and then eventually breaks through the handle, you're going to have that slingshot effect to the upside. All right, breakouts. If we know all the parameters that makes it time to buy a stock, the more we can put into a chart analysis, the better off we are. For example, we recommended RGR today because we had a big hammer doji. Then we had a bullish engulfing. Stochastics were coming up, so we had a left-right combo, and we closed right here at the high, of the recent high. So all we needed to do is see positive trading today. That told us the recent highs weren't going to hold, that we were probably in the next wave of this pattern, which is, if this is a J-hook, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 could be substantial. Substantial enough to go from 40 to, what did it do? Go to 56, $16. $16 from around here would take you up into the $70 area. That makes it worthwhile. All boats are going to rise in a rising tide. We're trying to find those boats that are going to blast off in the rising tide. Again, here's the reason why we recommended WNR today, was because it had the Morningstar signal, inverted hammer, bullish confirmation, T-line acting as support, wave 1, wave 2. If it broke out, it told us that wave 3, this was not going to be a double top. This was just part of the uptrend going into the third wave. And So looking at those type of things, we're looking for the ones that potentially have breakout potential tomorrow. This one broke out today, MPC. Kind of coming out of that fry pan bottom, wave one, J-hook pattern. This one should have another, how far did we come? From approximately the $62 range to approximately the 85, 23 points. 23 points from here would take you up pretty close to $105, which is worthwhile. Delta. Nice J-hook pattern. This actually looked like it touched the 50-day moving average over on TCNet. Left-right combo, doji sandwich, closed right at the recent high. If it traded above that recent high, it was probably going higher into the next wave, which is exactly what it's doing right now. Krispy Kreme, flat trading, left-right combo, a positive open would take you where? Into new territory. So we're now seeing wave one, wave two, starting wave three, which should be the same magnitude as wave one. And IRWD, another one that we've been playing with recently. Nice steady eddy. Now it got right up to where it was at the breakout level and it broke out. However, we're at the top of a trend. We didn't gap up through it. We had a big day. The bullish buying should have been the execution in here. Now keep a much more diligent eye on this situation. This is where you can start getting ready to watch for some profit taking. SGYP. Scoop type setup. Breakout possibility. You've got a doji sandwich. Got a left-right combo. Stochastics coming up. Close above the T-line. If it opens positive and starts trading positive, what is it going to be doing? It's going to be breaking through the 50 and the 20, and it's going to be breaking through this downward channel. Just even on a day trade, you might have a good 10% pop in it. So these are all evidence of things breaking through resistance levels. We're just about ready to come up through the resistance level on a Morningstar signal. It's been using the T-line as their stop, or as the support. Stochastics still coming up. If they break through this level, you've got good running room to the upside for this one. Oops. A left-right combo. And we'll come across it here in a minute, Kristen. What did I just do there? Swift. There's a left-right combo right here. A doji followed by a bullish engulfing signal. And where did this one close? Right here at the highs. Stochastic still coming up. What would happen if they open up positive? It tells us they're confirming a left-right combo, and they're telling us that this is not acting as resistance anymore. So the next resistance would be the 200. In this case, it told us the 200 wasn't going to be acting as resistance anymore. There's probably still more upside to this one. SXL. This one opened positive. Where would it be? In the new territory, coming out of a rounding bottom. This one you can still be buying, anticipating this type of move right here, which would be another 10 points. INFI already has moved. Same scenario. Had a resistance level. They gapped up through it. Told us that there was lots of buying coming in, that this uptrend is still in progress. This one you just stay with as long as there's no sell signal and or a close below the T-line. Pitney Bowes, left-right combo. A little doji, bullish engulfing above the moving average, the 200, the T-line and the 20. If this opens positive, you want to be buying immediately with the anticipation that if this is wave one, wave two, look for wave three. Notice what happened in wave one. Where did it top out? When it got exuberant buying up here, Next day we saw a bearish Harami telling us this buying had stopped. Good places to take some profits up here. TEX. There's a bullish engulfing followed by a gap up through the T line. Wave 1, wave 2, possibly wave 3. This one I would not be afraid to be buying. So where do you set your stop if you buy on a positive open tomorrow? Just set it right here at the T line. It shouldn't close back below the T line. CVI just closed above the recent highs. Left-right combo again after a Morningstar type signal. Tells us that this is probably not acting as resistance. If this one opens positive tomorrow, another one that I'd probably be in there buying aggressively right on the open. Now, does that mean it's not going to come back? Sure, it's always got that possibility. But the probabilities are that this stock is going to go higher now that it's breaking out of this rounding bottom and into new high territory. That was PBI, actually CBI, Yahoo. Notice how it broke out. Morningstar signal. Broke out through this level, and now they're really hopping it. Once they broke out through the resistance level, lots of people said, shoot, it's not hanging up there anymore. Let's get into it. Hess. Gap up through the resistance level. Makes this very easy. If it opens positive tomorrow, you can be buying immediately with this scoop type pattern, anticipating at least a 45-degree off of here. And Cray. Rounding bottom, breakout. Tells us there's more upside. Now, this might be your resistance, but if it is, you're going to find out tomorrow. If it goes through, it's not resistance anymore. You probably got lots of good upside from that one. Great. Angie's List. Morningstar type signal, staying above the T line, about ready to close into new territory. So very simply, if this open positive and starts trading positive, it tells us it's not stopping at the recent highs. It's going up much further, with the potential being, if this is a wave 1, pull back, wave 3 to the upside. H&R Block has a very nice J-hook pattern setup. So if this one, there's a left-right combo, broke it out through the recent high. If it opens positive, it's telling us that bulls are still there. This is wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. And if this is wave 1, that's going to be a very good percentage move on the next wave to kind of match up to that. And PCYC also has the potential of breaking out tomorrow on a positive open after a left-right combo right on the T line, starting back up. Stochastics starting that slow curl back up again. This one, you definitely want to be a buyer on positive trading tomorrow. Notice the Morningstar signal here. So if this opens positive, what's that telling us? Number 1, it's telling us they're confirming the Morningstar signal. Number 2, they're probably bringing the stochastics up more. Number 3, if they break through the 50, that's not acting as resistance. And if they break through here, that's not acting as resistance. Probably got a good possibility of a strong price move from out of here. So again, I'm trying to find as many things that tell me if the bulls push this up through a certain level with all the indications that the buying's going on. We can see that the charts are looking good. Everybody else is watching to see when it's going to break out. And if it breaks out, they're going to come piling in. So we don't have to hesitate or wait for that confirmation. Our confirmation is a bullish open, breaking the resistance level, coming off of candlestick signals. That tells you get in early because everybody's going to start piling in behind you. And let's see, one more. DK. DK, if this opens positive tomorrow, is breaking out into new territory off a Morningstar signal, a perfect J-hook pattern, tells us if we went from 24 to 39, $15 essentially, they'd take this up to about the $52 area. Again, this is the type of thing where even if you look at the 40 or maybe even 41 calls, I don't know what they have on this one, but let's say the 41 calls are selling for 50 cents because this one hasn't been to everybody else acting real well. Well, if they break this out and we know they could move this possibility, the 41 calls might go from very little money to starting off big because we know which way everything's moving. That's essentially what happened with the OSIS situation. We knew that if they broke out this one positive after a scoop pattern, it probably had a good upside potential, not necessarily all in one day. Hopefully over the next 2 or 3 days we'd get up to the 50, but if it happens in one day, that's all that much better. How do we scan for these stocks? There's plenty of scan material on the website. Also, if you have developed a scan, let us know. There's a little document section at the bottom of this chat room, way down to the bottom right. You can add that scan on there and say, this is a scan for such and such. And I'm just going to use an example. Let's say J-hook pattern. And it works relatively good so that everybody's not reinventing the wheel. If you put your formula out there that seems to be working well, gives everybody else the opportunity to use it and tweak it, and they might be seeing something that could be put into the formula that makes it all that much better. The reason we want to share information is that you might have a very clever idea on how to scan for something or what pattern to look for during specific parameter setups or indicator setups, and it works reasonably well. Well, somebody else out there seeing your formula might take it one step further and add something that you may not have even conceived. So what we're essentially trying to do is if we can take our correct trade ratio from 62.8% and tweak it up to 63.7%. Doesn't sound like a big percentage gain, but for every time that you decrease the possibility of a bad trade, that just starts helping your returns on an exponential basis. Let's see. Okay, Mr. B, regular members cannot add. Oh, is that right? I will work on that. See what we can do about that. Candle Trader, if you don't mind, remind me of that tomorrow. Let's see, you and First Wave are my favorites. Miss him. Yeah, I miss him a lot too. He and I used to talk almost every other night. Do miss my buddy David. Sarah, if you've got any wide bidding, this is what I was supposed to announce. We were going to do a options session tomorrow, but we're going to have to unfortunately postpone that one also. Just because of my schedule up here, things have gotten a little out of whack. So what we'll probably be doing for members here in the not too distant future, and I hate to keep putting it off, is just because I'm on a different schedule up here. We'll probably do one night. We will do effective spreads, bullish spreads, bearish spreads. The next night, effective naked call or naked put trading. Next night, maybe do credit spreads versus debit spreads. And I was trying to spread them out a little bit, but we may have to do them where we do them 3 nights in a span of a week. So only because the schedule's getting so botched up. So, all right. let's see, David. Yeah, David. I try to keep in touch with Allison. I think Allison has gone back up to state of Washington. Try to get with her again. Okay. Any other questions on candlesticks? If not, Jim, go ahead and do the double line. There we go. Okay. And Jim, in 15 seconds, do the second double line. We should have gotten most of them in by that time. All right. If you jump the gun, I will go back up here and start with Cree. All right. Cree was at a bearish engulfing today. Cree may be in trouble. When you see a trend up, pull back, and they take it back up but fail to get to a new high, and you start seeing sell signals, that means they aren't going to make it. You probably want to get out of that position if you're long and wait for the next buy signal. Oh, Sarah, I'm sorry. I was answering Sarah's question. If the bid and ask is fairly wide, don't be afraid to put your bid right smack dab in the middle. Because what happens on a lot of these option trades is the only person out there making the other side is the market maker. And so he would love to have people buy at the bids or at the ask side and people sell to him on the bid side. Which is if most people, if they're in a hurry, they're going to pay the ask price. Or if they're in a hurry to get out, they're going to hit the bid price. So if you put your bid or your ask smack dab in the middle, that all of a sudden gets in the market maker's way. They're usually going to fill it there just to get you out of the way, so they can have a much bigger bid-ask spread. So don't be afraid to use the halfway point as your entry or exit. Okay, Cree, let's see. DDD closed below the T-line today. This one is starting to look soggy. Give it one more day. Or if you didn't get out today, give it one more day, but it has to open positive and close back up above the T-line to stay in it. DEC, stay in this. Anytime you see that gap up, I bet you Dinah Donuts right now you're in a 45 degree off of here. Same trajectory as what this trend was. And BCLK. That's a good looking chart. There's your doji bullish confirmation. This one you could be buying on positive trading using the T-line as your stop. ACHN. Left-right combo. Again, the bigger a signal is, the higher the probability there's been a change of investor sentiment. That's a good-looking chart. Just if you buy tomorrow on positive trading, use the T-line as your stop. Now, what often happens after a big trading day like this is they'll do some profit taking. So if they bring it back down and they stop smack dab on the T-line, which is not unusual, flip to your 5-minute and your 10-minute chart and see when the buying steps in. You can be buying down here knowing that they're at least going to probably close it toward the top end of the trading range and or even take it positive after the profit taking's over. Not every time. It's something like this where they had a big day, they brought it down, and then you brought it back up. So this one, if it came down here and you had your 5-minute chart up and you can see that they started flattening it out and going positive, that means the selling has stopped. That's where you want to be buying. Let's see. Corning. Corning doesn't look good. This one you can be short if it opens weaker tomorrow. And OC. Owens Corning. This one has got a better chart, but it needs to get up above the T-line and probably the 50 also to get it moving again. There is a gap up there at the $43 area. And a run. Nothing there yet. You need to see bullish confirmation. If you're long, you stay long, but you don't want to see it close below the T line. But you definitely want to see it start trading positive from there. WPRT, this one you stay short until you see a buy signal. Now, obviously, they closed it right on the 50. Just be a little bit wary at this point. Your stochastics are still heading down. The next target, if they don't hold the 50, is you draw a line right through here. That's that upward trend channel in progress. So somewhere down in here, you start watching your 10-minute chart again. ELLI. Whoops. ELLI. This one you can be buying on the double bottom. Notice how they did a bullish engulfing here. Came up, pulled right back to the same level, did a Morningstar signal. This one you want to be buying. Just make sure it breaks out through the 50, which would be also breaking out through the high of that trading day. TWI. Nothing there. This one you can still stay short or even go short if it opens weaker tomorrow. MOS. Another one's having a little bit of trouble getting up through the T-line. Notice how your stochastics are starting to flatten out, which means you're losing some energy to the upside. This one, if you're long, has to open positive tomorrow. If the bulls have stepped in and taken it back up on one of these type of days, and the next day they open it lower, that means the bulls aren't there. They've given up. They're going to take it lower. Chipotles, this one you can stay long as it stays above the T-line. GMCR, this one's having a hard time breaking out into new high. We did a bearish harami today. So if this opens lower tomorrow, close out the position, you can always put your buy stop back up at the $50 range. If it comes up through there, that tells you the bulls are back in it again. LinkedIn, stay long as it stays above the T-line. HUN. This one you also stay long. Now, it's up there pretty good. Just be careful that they don't pull back too far, but the T-line looks like it's coming up along with it. ACMP. This one broke out into new territory. This one you can be buying as long as it stays above the T-line. You can still be buying this one now, as long as it stays above the T-line, for the next little bit anyways. And TXI, another one that broke out into new territory. This one can be bought, expecting a third day of the same magnitude. We did Valero SLCA. Kind of a wedge and a doji. Makes it very simple. They're probably going to move it in the direction how they open this one tomorrow. So they're either going to break it down through the bottoms or they're going to break it up through the top. Stochastic still kind of leaning toward the upside, and it will be probably a function of how they open this market tomorrow. DMND, good looking chart. Kind of your doji sandwich right here tells you there's more upside. If they break out through this area, they're going to the 200. If they hit the 200, more than likely they're going up further. DGI. Nothing there yet that would get me real excited until they break through this downtrending channel. You've got the buy signals. I'd rather pay $28 knowing that it's broken through the downside instead of waiting for it to get there. And FTK has been a good money maker for us recently, except that right now it can't get back up through the T-line. Now here's a case where if you saw this bullish harami, bullish confirmation at the T-line, and the next day they open it lower, and today they open it lower, you should be back out of it. That tells you, even though the signal was there, the signal failed. Get right back out of the trade. Not to say that this isn't still right on the trend channel and you might get back in, but you don't know whether they're doing a bearish J-hook pattern or not. Get out and get back in if things turn right around again. CHPT, this one is starting in the right direction. It better have big enough volume. I don't know what the volume is on this one. But I would buy it if it comes back up through today's open. That tells you, or especially if they gap it up above today's open and start going positive, that's that little kicker signal. But that's what you pretty much need to get any energy out of this one right now. MLNX. This is a slow rollover. This one you want to get ready to short if they start taking this one down. Notice the dumpling top. Notice how the 50 has been acting as resistance, and right now they're below the T line. Is that worrisome that you're almost in the oversold area? No. Just like a fry pan bottom, where do they start breaking it out to the upside? When the stochastics are up here in the overbought area. Where do they start breaking down a dumpling top? Right about where when the stochastics get into the oversold area. Okay, let's see. COF. That's a left-right combo. There's your doji, bullish engulfing, confirmation. This one you can be buying on positive trading tomorrow. Why? Because it'd be breaking this downward trend channel after a confirmed buy signal. Tells us at least they're probably popping it back up to the moving averages. VMW. BMW always kind of reminds me of a cross between a Volkswagen and a BMW. Doji today, if this opens positive tomorrow, you can be buying. It's telling you this rounding bottom's working. That's right. Where do old Volkswagens go? To the old Volks home. It's good to have young nieces and nephews. Another J-hook pattern occurring in Goldman. If Goldman is picking up steam, that usually means the whole market is going to be picking up steam. The big brokerages, when they're doing well, the whole market's doing well. MCP, nothing there yet to get any reason to start jumping in. It needs to see a strong buy signal because obviously you've been in a big downtrend here. And right now there wouldn't be any reason to not stay short if you're already short. SNSS, good looking chart. This one you definitely want to be buying on positive trading tomorrow. And ICA. S.ICA. That's another J-hook pattern in progress. Notice where it bouncing smack dab off the 50. Now you're back up through the T-line. This is wave 1, wave 2. Whenever you see wave 2 or any wave come right back to a major support level, you start seeing candlestick buy signals. That's the whole purpose of learning candlestick buy signals, is we can see exactly what's going on in investor sentiment at major support levels. DDD needs to open higher and trade higher tomorrow to stay in it. Otherwise, it looks like they're trying to take it back down to the 200-day moving average. JEC, still having a little bit of difficulty getting out of this trading range, but you can see there's beginning to be a support level right here, a wedge. So if they open up positive, trade positive, especially coming up through this top trend channel, you want to be buying. That would be starting your next wave to the upside. TPX. Notice where it closed, right here at the tops. After a double doji, left-right combo, bounced right off the, or opened right here in the T-line and went to the 20, came right back up. Very simple. If this opens positive tomorrow, you can be buying it immediately. And PHM, Pulte Homes, look at that. Another one that if it breaks this downtrending channel, should be in wave 3. Oops, I didn't scroll enough. All right. Zolt. This one you can buy on positive trading tomorrow, as long as it stays above the T-line. Jazz. This one's got that whipsaw action coming out of here. This one you can be buying on positive trading. At this point, I'd probably use the halfway point of this candle as my stop. Let's see. Condo. This one did that belt hold type signal. However, you're still relatively early in the stochastic, so it'll be important to see how they open this. If they open this positive and start taking it up, obviously you stay in it. If they open this lower and start taking it down, they're at least coming back to test the T-line. And again, with a belt hold type signal, you have to be a little bit more aware that the sellers might be taking control right now. That was on Condo. Let's see. MBI. Big breakout. Off the doji, bullish confirmation. Do you always get moves like this? Not necessarily, but if you were buying based on this, you were in the right position at the right time. At this point, if it opens lower tomorrow, you take profits. Then you just put a buy stop, one tick above the high of today. If it comes back up through there, you want to get right back in again. SGMO has been acting well. Wave 1, Wave 2, Wave 3 doing well. AT&T, whoops, AT&T. This one, slow curve to the upside. Just be careful of the return magnitude you have on this one. It's a slow mover. That's the EOX. EOX is having a hard time getting moving. Unless they open it positive tomorrow. I mean, if they open it lower, you want to be out of this position. That means they're taking it back down to the 50. They need to open up positive and get back up through the T-line immediately if you want to stay in this one. CZ or SZYM did a doji today. Notice that there's a top right here. If this one opens lower tomorrow, you close out the position. Tells you they have had a hard time getting up. If it opens positive, just watch to see what it does at this level. If it fails here again, you close out the position. Then all you have to do is put a buy stop at 9. If they come back up and go through that resistance, they're moving and you're stopped right back into it again. SPWR did a little left-right combo today. This one needs to open positive tomorrow. And Goodyear. Stay short until you see a buy signal, anticipating that the 200 is the next target. PRLB got a little bit weak, but did not close below the T-line. However, makes this very simple. It has to open positive to stay in it. If it opens weaker tomorrow, you close out the position immediately and wait for the next buy signal. Let's see, did we do CLF? Stay short. Nothing there, just stay short. And Post Properties. This one, you stay in it as long as it stays in an uptrend. The REITs are picking up steam right now. This is Weingarten's. It's moving up, has been moving up nicely. Probably a little J-hook right here with the anticipation. You've got this type of potential for the next move. And AMRI. Notice how it came right back to the 50. I'm sorry, to the T line. Double doji, bullish confirmation. This one is going up further, probably the same magnitude as this wave right here. Amazon. Amazon you can be buying as long as it stays above the T line. Another one that when you're buying something this big, you just have to realize what your rate of return is going to be. Yeah, this one's got to move a fur piece to get a good return. Okay, where are we? We're way down here. CELG. Another rounding bottom. This one I would not be afraid to be buying on positive trading tomorrow, at least looking at the calls. And we did MCP, we did Condo, we did all of those. All right. AGN. Another slow rounding curve. Wouldn't be afraid to be buying this one on positive trading tomorrow, using the T line as your stop. MU. MU.
That Whitem H13 price crossing under a bar moving average.
There we go. This one you can be buying also. That you're getting this slow fry pan bottom, kind of obtuse fry pan bottom, starting to break out to the upside. Bank of America. You can get in this one on a positive open. Notice how it's kind of supporting at this level right down here. The next target is obvious up here, and it's got to get through there or you're going to be in a sideways channel for a little bit. Let's see. WU. S.WU. Western Union is having a little bit of a difficulty. Now, supporting here on the 50, obviously. Just nothing there that would get me real excited to get into this one right now. It needs a strong buy signal confirmation, and it hasn't happened yet. HUN, this one you stay in as long as it stays above the T line. Coles, that kind of belt hold signal all the way down to the 50 tells you they aren't selling it off. You could be buying this one on positive trading, just realizing that the 200 is going to be your first target as far as potential or a potential upside. Fifth Third Bancorp, there's your left-right combo. This one you can be buying. Just be aware that you've kind of broken down through the trend channel, so it could get back up on a strong move, back up into the trend channel, and then start the 45 degrees. So if you buy this, just use the T line as your stop. PSMI has gotten soggy. This one you can be going short on weakness tomorrow. And BBBY, nothing there yet. I mean, you're getting the dojis, but I wouldn't buy it until you see that buy signal bringing it up through the resistance level, the moving averages. Enoch, where are you? There you are. This one's had a hard time getting moving. It closed back below the T line. You should be out of this one. You can always put a buy stop at the 1680 level. If it comes up through there, it tells you they're taking it back up. But right now, I'd be out of this stock. Anytime they close them below the T line, you want to be out of them. As told you that there's more bad things could happen versus good things when it's below the T line. Same with RES. This one should have been closed out today. If you own it, the only way to stay in it is it has to open positive and trade positive to stay in it. NXXT, another one that did kind of a doji today that if it opens positive tomorrow, you can definitely be a buyer. knowing that it's breaking out into new territory. ANR stays short until you see a buy signal. There's a doji in the oversold area. So if I was short, I'd probably be using the high of today as my stop. It shouldn't come back up through that level. And ACI, another one where you've got an inverted hammer in the oversold area. If this opens positive tomorrow and you're short, you want to cover, you can always re-short it if it comes down through the low of the last 2 days. SBAC, this one you can be buying on positive trading. Positive trading would break it out through the resistance levels. And Apple just stays short. There's nothing here to tell you there's any reason to be buying this one. You're in the oversold area, but you're rolling over. I would still suspect that you could draw a line right down through here, and that's the target, around 375. Nuance, you can see it's basing. If you want to buy this one, put a buy stop at 1875. If it comes up through there, it's broken out.
Do not be long.
And Rig was getting battered. It opened up positive, nice gap up, but closing back down below the T line, that bearish belt hold signal tells you if they open this one lower, you probably want to short it because they're probably taking it back down to the 200. Okay, so yeah, I shouldn't have, except Candle Trader, everybody would be retyping in there anyway, so we'll just get them all done. IRET, stay long as you stay above the T line. Joseph
H13
Banks.
Price crossing over 8 bar, moving average.
A Banks. Nothing here that would get me excited one way or the other. More than likely, you probably want to be going short if it comes back down through today's low. FAS, stay short now till you see a buy signal. And this now could be a bearish inverted hammer signal. Not inverted hammer, that's not the right word. Bearish J-hook pattern. They could be taking this lower from this point, which means that the market itself would be rallying. CENX, stay short until you see the 200 hit. And Halliburton, this one is going to the 50, especially if they open a lower tomorrow. You're not in the oversold area yet. And CENX. Did I just do that? That one's going to the 200. Maybe I just did that one. U.S. Steel, nothing there either. Stay short until you see a buy signal. IBM. Nice steady uptrend, not steady uptrend. Rounding bottom, breakout to the upside. Continue to stay long in this one. And that was IBM. Let's see, did we do NTWK? This one, all you can do is stay long. These are the ones you love to catch. Coming out of a fry pan bottom. As long as it doesn't close below the T line, you stay with it. And all you need is a couple of these a year, and it will dramatically improve your returns, which is kind of overstating the obvious. But I say that because a lot of times people have a big enough profit they want to get out of it. With candlestick signals, it tells you to stay in until you see a sell signal. WT or MTW, nothing here that would get me excited. More than likely, it's going to be a squeeze between the T line and the 50 before they can do anything. HTZ. Slow, steady uptrend, and that's about all you can say about it, is a slow uptrend. And SRPT. Another one that needs to break out to the upside to get excited about it, but you have this big, slow fry pan bottom. I'd rather pay $32.50 for it, though, knowing that it's broken out to the upside. All right, let's see. TEX. Oh, well, we did that one. That's one going to get caught between the 50 and the 200. We did Bidu, right? I better check to make sure we did. Bidu, nothing there to get excited about. And Zynga. Zynga you can buy on positive trading. Notice the T-line coming up through the 200, the squeeze, the 200 not acting as resistance, and if they open up positive, I don't know if there's any resistance over here or not. Not until you get up here until about the $6 range, or the $5 range, I'm sorry. That's a nice fry pan bottom. The classic came up, almost touched the 200, pulled back to the T-line, and let the T-line squeeze it up through, so that's telling me there's going to be more upside to this one. Okay. JC, if you could pull some off as far as formulas, I'd appreciate that. The more information we can accumulate, the better it is that everybody has one place to go to find what they're, how to activate or utilize the signals better. AKM, left-right combo. This one you can be buying on the stutter step. With the first likely target, the 50, and next likely target fill in the gap. Let's see, I missed CFL, all right. CLF. Oh, no, I said stay short on this one until you see a buy signal, unless it's gapped up somewhere. That certainly has. Whoa. Is that a buyout of some sort? STT. Whoops, STT. Little morning star signal right here in the end. Anytime you see that, that acts like the mini scoop. If it opens positive, you want to be buying immediately. Yes, got an alley in quite a few portfolios. This one, as long as it hangs in here, it's paying about a 19% dividend. Just stay with it. Just as long as it stays relatively calm. Can I show a Morningstar? I bet you I can. Hold on for a second. Santa, that's right. This one's got a nice looking chart. That's I wouldn't be afraid to be buying this one on positive trading. Q-Core. Q-Core backed off a little bit today, but not anything that I would say. I'm probably looking at this as your fry pan bottom breakout, hit the resistance level, pulling back to the T-line, and then going back up through, which I hope they do that within the next few days. I think I've got March calls on this one. Gas was holding up pretty well. It did consolidate quite a bit today, but if it opens positive tomorrow, you want to be buying. The profit takers out of the way. MDCO was sluggish but moved positive today. So this could be that little cup and handle type setup. Oh, I didn't do Facebook. Doji just above the T line makes it very simple. If it opens positive, you can be buying tomorrow based on a Doji sandwich setup. Oh, okay. Robert, that's got to be careful with those then if HMG only trades at, let's see, now the 12%. And let's see. We did Valero. We did, Groupon. Groupon's been coming right back up again after the big sell-off. This one can be bought on positive trading tomorrow up above the T-line. We did Valero. Valero's got a good-looking chart. J-Hook, if it opens positive, you want to be buying it. I think we did MTG and VMed. VMed also can be bought on positive trading. Okay. Morningstar signal. Thank you. Here's a Morningstar signal. When you see a big dark candle, a day of indecision, and the third candle comes more than halfway up this candle. Cotton had a Morningstar signal. Big down day, doji day, this candle. The further this one closes above the halfway point, the higher the prospect of an uptrend
125. Tick. 3 EM. Hey. Below 8 EM. Hey. Do not be long. That Whitem H13.
Okay. Let's go take one more quick look at the Dow. This just has all indications of another steady uptrend. If we get a steady uptrend, your indication here is that we're in wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. So as long as you stay above the T line, that shouldn't be bothering or shouldn't change the trend. All right. Yes, Jimmy, I apologize for having to put the option classes off. I want to have all the numbers correct so people aren't confused. And because of the schedule here, I just have not been able to get it put together. But when it's put together, which will be very soon, it will hopefully be clear that all the confusing parts will be out of the way, so that when you see a trade, you know exactly which trade or which option setup you want to use for that trade. All right, with that, everybody have a good evening. I see most of you did wear your ski masks tonight. That was good, except your names gave you away. So anyways, we'll see everybody in the chat rooms tomorrow.